heuristic graph the functions 3 to the power of x and log base 3 and talk about domain, range, and zeros of the functions. So start with the exponential function first. So f of x equals 3 to the power of x. A couple of things on this one. If I were to think of this as like an xy table, I can do 0, which is 3 to the power of 0, which is 1, 1, which is 3 to the power of 1, and 2 and 9, I guess. So when I'm dealing with this one here, 0, 1, 1, 3, 3, 9, my exponential function, I'm trying to sketch this somewhat okay, should look like this, where we actually have an asymptote, a horizontal asymptote at x equals 0, meaning there is no 0 of our first function because there's no x value that would make that y value equal to 0. So domain and range of it, though, when we're dealing with this, the domain is all real numbers because I can plug in anything to that equation. But my range, when I plug in anything, nothing will get me lower than 0. That's what my asymptote is there for. So my range goes from 0 to infinity. Now, when I'm talking about my log function, so I guess I should use g of x here. My log function, very similar in some of these points that I might use. So if I use an x and a y table here, in this case, I want to plug in 1 first, because when I plug in 1, I know that log base anything of 1 is 0. Then I'm going to plug in 3, because I want to do log base 3 of 3, because I know that's equal to 1. And what we should kind of see here is that these two things are inverses. So if I had plugged in 9, I would end up getting 2. So when I graph these things, I guess I'll just go to the right here. When I graph this, I now have this vertical asymptote at x equals 0. And when I plot these points, 1, 0, 3, 1, 9, 2, I see that my function looks like this. Now domain on this one goes from 0 to infinity, and my range now becomes all real numbers. So the domains and the ranges of these two functions have flipped.